If you're thinking of moving to Southeast Asia, you're going to hear the same tired advice over and over. Don't overpack, learn the language, get a VPN, and while that stuff has its place, none of it prepares you for the real rookie mistakes that hit you in the face in the first few weeks. I'm not here to repeat Reddit threads. I'm here to share the hard lessons people only talk about after they've been burned. Let's start with the money side of things, because this is where people get tripped up fast. A lot of new arrivals think $1,000 a month is more than enough, no matter where they go. And in some cities, it is, but not everywhere. You land in Saigon or Bangkok and try to lock in an apartment on day one, suddenly you're paying $450 a month for a cramped studio with bad plumbing issues because you didn't know what neighborhood to avoid. Or worse, you signed a 6-month lease without realizing your building is right above a karaoke bar that goes until 2 a.m. every night. Rookie mistake. The real move is rent month to month at first. Get a cheap place for 2 weeks, walk the neighborhood, talk to the locals and other expats, and take your time finding something that actually fits your lifestyle and budget. That flexibility is everything in the first month. The next mistake, people believing everything you read in expat Facebook groups. These groups can be helpful for general certain questions, visa runs, restaurant recommendations, emergency info, but they're also filled with noise. Half of it is people arguing about politics or spreading secondhand rumors. Someone posts that a visa is changing and suddenly there are 50 comments from people who haven't even left their apartment in the last year. Trust but verify. Ask 3 people, call an agent, go to an immigration office if you have to, because if you take one bad comment as gospel, you might cancel your entire trip or make a bad visa decision based on outdated info. That's the internet. Take it with a grain of salt. Another one I see all the time. People try to find paradise on their first try. They move to Chiang Mai or Bali or Phnom Penh expecting instant bliss. But here's the reality. The first city you land in probably won't be the one you stick with. That's not a failure. That's just part of the process of moving. You might think you want beaches and then realize you hate humidity. You might think you want big city energy and then find it exhausting after time. That's why it's smart to rent short term and leave room to bounce around. Try 3 cities in your first 3 months. You'll learn way more than you would reading 100 different blogs. And odds are you'll end up somewhere you never expected. Let's talk lifestyle mistakes now, because this part can sneak up on you. A lot of people assume moving to Southeast Asia means endless time to relax, eat cheap food, and explore temples, but you still need structure, especially if you're working remotely or trying to build something on the side. I've seen people move here thinking the cheap cost of living means they don't have to hustle anymore. But without routine, it's easy to slip into boredom, bad habits, or even depression. That novelty wears off quick when you don't have something meaningful to do with your days. Build a routine, go to the gym, take language classes, set work or productive hours. I do this 7 days a week. Whatever gives your day some sort of shape, because freedom without structure can quietly wreck your momentum. Another thing people underestimate is how their environment shapes their mindset. If you're surrounded by noise, clutter, or chaos, it'll bleed into how you think and feel. I stayed in a cheap room above a motorbike repair shop. It seemed like a steal at the time, but every morning I'd wake up to drills and fumes, and by noon I couldn't focus on anything I needed to get done. It messes with your head. On the flip side, I currently pay a little more to stay in a walkable area with 2 parks, same size room, but quiet, green, and walkable. I got more done, feel more rested, and meet people just by walking out the door to the park every day. Don't just chase the cheapest price on paper. Think about how a place makes you feel, how it sets the tone for your day. It matters more than most people realize, especially long term. Quick behind the scenes note here. A few of you asked if I had merch, so I went ahead and put some together. They're simple, clean designs that I would actually wear while traveling or filming myself. It helps support the channel directly, and yeah, it looks pretty good too. Links in the description and pinned comment below if you want to take a peek for yourself. When I first started, I stayed in a part of town that was cheap but far from anything walkable. No cafes, no markets, no social life. I saved money, sure, but it got lonely. I had to take a grab or ride my motorbike for 20 plus minutes just to find people to talk to. That might not sound like a big deal today, but when it becomes a daily thing, it adds up. If you're coming here solo, prioritize location over square footage. A tiny place near a co-working space or night market will feel 10 times better than a big quiet apartment in the middle of nowhere, especially if you're young. Now let's hit a big one, assuming everyone you meet has good intentions. Most people here are kind, helpful, and they're just living their lives, but there are scams and they don't always look like scams. Sometimes it's a fixer who overcharges you because you're new and you don't know better. Sometimes it's another expat pitching some shady business deal over beers late at night. I've seen people lose thousands this way. Always pause before handing over any sum of money. If something feels rushed or overly urgent, walk away. Time is your biggest asset as a newcomer. Don't let someone else set your pace for you. Let's get personal for a second. One mistake I didn't expect was the mental pressure of not having a safety net. In the US, if something goes wrong, you have friends, family, credit cards, systems you understand. Out here, it's all on you. That can be freeing, but it also means you need to plan smarter. Keep an emergency fund. Don't blow your whole budget on the first month of travel. Always know where your passport is. Keep digital copies of every important document. Maybe even make sure someone back home knows where you are at all times. These little things give you peace of mind. And when something inevitably goes wrong, and it will, you'll be ready. You'll also be mentally prepared for a weird emotional roller coaster that no one warns you about. The first few weeks feel exciting and fresh. Then around week 4 or 5, a lot of people hit a low point. It can feel like culture shock, homesickness, or even just a crash after the adrenaline wears off. You start questioning your decisions, comparing everything to home, and wondering if this was all a mistake. That's totally normal. What matters is how you write it out from here. For me, it was about leaning into small routines. Same coffee shop every morning, walks at the same time every morning, messaging people back home. After a week or two, that fog lifts, you start noticing the good stuff again. It becomes familiar, but no one talks about that dip, and it catches a lot of people off guard. Another trap, constantly comparing costs or obsessing over how cheap everything is. Don't get me wrong, saving money is great and it's a big reason people move to Southeast Asia, but if every interaction you have turns into a mental currency conversion or a cost-benefit analysis, you'll drive yourself nuts. You'll also risk shortchanging experiences that might be worth the splurge. It's okay to pay a little more for a place that feels safe or a meal that gives you a break from rice and noodles. The goal is to live well on less, not just less. I caught myself doing this my first time in Cambodia. It's very easy to think small. The last mistake I'll mention is thinking you need to have it all figured out when you show up. You don't. In fact, trying to overplan every detail is often counterproductive. The truth is, half of what makes this life here great is the stuff you couldn't predict. The unexpected friendships, the weird street food you might find that you end up loving, the random city that just clicks for you. If you treat the move like a test you have to ace, you'll miss what makes it actually worth doing in the first place. Instead, approach it like an experiment. Stay curious, stay humble, let yourself be surprised. There's no single way to move to Southeast Asia, but there are definitely smarter ways to go about it. Hopefully these lessons save you a few headaches, a few $100, and a few sleepless nights. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.